Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.
What is going on, Raider Nation? What is going on? It is your boy Darian coming to you live with another video. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Shout out to all the subscribers that has subscribed to the YouTube page. If this is your first time ever being at our YouTube page, I would suggest that you subscribe and hit the bell button and get the latest news and all Raiders news. But we're back here with another Raiders video. In this video, we're going to be talking about some off-season talk for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, you know, a lot of news is coming out with the Raiders, back and forth with the Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller being snubbed from the All-Pro team. If y'all have not seen that, definitely go look it up. He was snubbed from the All-Pro team, but we'll get into that in another video. And I just want to let you know that the giveaway ends on January 20th. Now, the giveaway does involve 2 winners, and those 2 winners will get merch of the Spotlight Raiders Talk. If you see the hoodie here and you see the hat here, you will get any merch of your choosing on our spotlightsportsgear.com. The link will be in the description for the Spotlight Raiders Talk. But this is something that you have to do to enter into the giveaway. Now, the giveaway is that you have to follow us on our social medias at the bottom of this screen. You got to follow us on Instagram at Spotlight Raiders Talk, and you have to follow us on Twitter at Spotlight Art and Talk. And once you do that, you have to subscribe to this actual channel and turn all notifications on. Now, once you've done all those 3 giveaways there, all those 3 things to enter, you have to comment under the picture that has the giveaway on Instagram. You have to click done so I can put you on the list. So when we go live for the giveaway, you'll see if you're the winner or not. But I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. But thank y'all for tuning in, and let's get to that 4,000 subscriber goal. So let's get into it. And this is going to be on the defensive side of it for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I know that we've been talking about Raiders need edge rushers, but now we can look at what's going to be in free agency after the season is fully over, after the playoffs done, and we find a definitive champion. Now, these are the 3 edge rushers in free agency that the Raiders should consider going to get after the season's over. 3 free agents that are edge rushers that the Raiders should consider getting in free agency in the 2021 season. Let's check it out right now. Now, the first edge rusher that the Las Vegas Raiders should look at in free agency, and this is the first one that do come to mind, and is Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker / edge rusher Bud Dupree from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's check it out and see why we should go after him. The former 22nd overall pick of the 2015 NFL Draft was a mixed bag for most of his stint with the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, this year, Bud Dupree really elevated his game. Former 22nd overall pick of the 2015 NFL Draft was a mixed bag for the most of his stint with the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, this year, Bud Dupree really elevated his game. Overall, Dupree accumulated 11.5 sacks and had 4 forced fumbles in 2019. As far as this year, Dupree managed 8 sacks with 15 quarterback hits. As a side note, Dupree had 24 sacks for loss in his 2-year span. A torn ACL back in Week 12 ended his season prematurely. No doubt he would have ended with a similar or better numbers than 2019. Pro Football Focus graded Dupree pass rushing to a 61.2 this season. If he is healthy, the Raiders might be able to afford him, since his injury will affect how much money he can command. Have to agree here. I do love Bud Dupree. He was having a great year. He was having a heck of a year until he tore his ACL in that Week 12. And I think he tore it against the Washington football team, if I'm not mistaken. But Bud Dupree is one of those edge rushers that had 11.5 sacks in 2019. He had 15 quarterback hits. And that's something that the Raiders lack in there, is getting sacks and getting quarterback hits, or even some type of pressure on the quarterback. I do like Bud Dupree, but I am kind of concerned with his ACL tear and how much the Raiders are really going to try to pay him in free agency, or even take a look at him just because of the injury that he has, and how healthy will he be coming into the 2021 NFL season. And the second edge rusher that we should go after, in free agency for the 2021 NFL season and free agency is Tampa Bay Buccaneers edge rusher Shaquille Barrett. A Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champion, Shaquille Barrett merged as a sack machine in Tampa Bay. In the last 2 seasons, Barrett has piled up 27.5 sacks. For perspective, the Raiders defense only managed 21 this year as a whole. Also, 58 obliterated opposing offenses with 30 sacks for a loss. Pro Football Focus rated Barrett's pass rush as an impressive 75.8 this year as well. For the Raiders to add this pass rushing, it would take some serious cap by Mike Mayock and John Gruden. Barrett won't come cheap, but if the team's serious about evaluating their defense, they will need to invest heavily. The concern is that the 2019 season was more than an aberration for Barrett, yet in his 2020 season, he'll still be an upgrade for the silver and black. I like Shaquille Barrett. I think Shaquille Barrett is a guy that can get pressure, and he had a good year this year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think this guy is solid, and I think he's better than any pass rusher that we have outside of Max Crosby and Cleveland Ferrell. But those guys had kind of a slump year too, knowing with COVID and injuries and everything that's been going on with that edge rusher. I feel like Shaq Barrett will come in and definitely be a difference maker with 27.5 sacks. That is very impressive to me. So I think the Raiders should definitely look at him. He does not have any injuries or anything of that nature, but I do think that he will be an asset and definitely will help out depending on what type of defensive coordinator that will come in for the Las Vegas Raiders. And the third edge rusher that we should look at in free agency, and I think this guy still has a lot in the tank, and that's Washington football team's edge rusher Ryan Kerrigan. Let's go see what the justblogbaby.com, and shout out to them as well. Let's see what they got to say about this pass rusher or edge rusher right here. While Barrett and Dupree will have a higher upside, 4-time Pro Bowler, 32-year-old Ryan Kerrigan is no slouch. Though his age quickly catching up to him, Kerrigan mustered 11 sacks these past 2 seasons along with 20 QB hits in that span. Despite Kerrigan's decline due to age, strictly speaking in regards to the pass rush, he's still effective. Pro Football Focus graded his pass rush as 69.9 for the 2020 season. Per Pro Football Reference, Kerrigan has accumulated a solid total of 68 quarterback pressures over the last 3 years. This takes into account hurries, knockdowns, and sacks. With the Washington football team going through a youth movement since last year, the team has prepped to move on from Kerrigan. Unlike Barrett, Kerrigan should come cheaper in a retrospect would be an improvement over, say, Carl Nassib if all the things considered. We'll have to wait and see whether the Raiders brass opts to free agency or to the draft to address any edge upgrades. I think the Raiders will actually going into it where they're going to address the pass rush in free agency and in the draft. I feel like it really depends on your defensive coordinator. If your defensive coordinator wants to look at free agency and get some veterans at that edge rush, I say we go there. But do we want to get depth in the draft as well? Yes, I think we should go get depth on edge rushers in the draft and go with free agency. I think we should go both. That is my personal opinion, and I feel like Ryan Kerrigan is a veteran that can help these young guys, and he had more sacks than most of our players on our team. So anything, what we have now is an upgrade, and I think these three are definitely an upgrade to our defense. Just depends on what defensive coordinator are we going to get. I know that they're still saying that Gus Bradley is the front runner. Not a big fan of it, but it really depends on the scheme, and it really depends on what type of guy you want to bring in to lead this defense, knowing that Ron Millinari is still going to be on his defensive coaching staff. But at the end of the day, I still feel like it really depends on the defensive coordinator on who you want to bring in. But these are the three edge rushers that the Raiders should look at going into the 2020 NFL season in free agency. Let me know what you think, Raider Nation. Let me know what you think. If there's any other pass rusher that you want to see in free agency that the Raiders should target, Comment your comments below. We love to hear your opinions about these players. Let us know what you think. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It's the Spotlight Raiders Talk. We will see y'all in the next live stream or in the next video. Peace.
Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.